Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome everyone back to an episode of CSGO News. This is the series where I show and tell you what's been going on in the CSGO community this past week. That, of course, can have anything to do with the CSGO pro scene. Let's just say someone leaves and then joins a new team. It affects a lot of different things, including the CSGO economy. We also talk about CSGO investing, where something goes up or down in a very short period of time. You're unsure if it's stable or volatile to invest in. We also discuss current and possible future updates relating to the game, if that's Source 2, an operation, or something recent like the IAM Rio 75% off sale with, of course, a winter update to the game itself. And lastly, we talk about community drama with other YouTubers and other people in the community, maybe that own a website, like we'll be discussing in today's video. And there's quite a bit of drama to do with SkinBid, Zipel, some other stuff that we haven't really touched on before, which is going to be pretty interesting. But before we do that, here's a quick word from our video sponsor, SkinsMonkey.
Now today's video sponsor is of course SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is currently the easiest and also fastest way you can buy, but most importantly trade your CSGO skins. All you have to do is make sure you have your trade link, and on your first trade, if you have a leftover balance, it goes towards your current balance that can be used the next time you end up trading skins. It has 3 ways you can inspect, but most importantly has a very in-depth inspect feature that you can see corners on a Karambit, for an example, that you can't really see otherwise unless you have the item in game. If you end up topping up your balance, make sure to use promo code MANDO to get up to a 35% deposit bonus and a free $5 on the first trade.
Now, our very first thing is going to be news oriented. This is going to be from Gabe Follower. He recently put out a video, and every time he drops a video, it's very interesting, it's very in-depth, and it's usually CSGO history related. He's recently talked about how Counter-Strike Vietnam happened, and I commented, well, I'm getting the flashbacks from the jungle. The description of the video says how independent devs got official permission and source code of CSGO and started developing their own game based on the improved engine. It's pretty interesting. I recommend you guys check it out. This guy data mines and leaks a lot of stuff related to Counter-Strike, and that's how we usually know if an update comes out pretty soon. That wasn't sponsored, if anyone's wondering. I just think this guy makes some pretty cool content. Next up in the news is revolving around Zipel and, of course, SkinBid. The guy made and owned the website, which is very interesting, very good website, but up until now, people are kind of at crossroads with this guy and, of course, the website itself. Because as of today, they're making a lot of changes to the perks and the fees a part of the website. SkinBid tweeted out, buyer and seller fees are about to change. Their beloved monthly perks are going to rest. All changes will take effect probably within the next 24 to 48 hours because he says the 14th UTC, and depending on your time zone, it could be the next 1 to 2 days, and of course from this tweet as well. Apparently buyer fees are gone completely, so if you pay 100 euros or $100 for a skin, that's exactly what you're paying, which is pretty awesome. On the not so bright side, they said they have increased seller fees to more of the North American and European website side of things where it's pretty high. And this is where people aren't very happy with them. The fees will increase to 8%, which is the average fee in most websites. And of course, 3.5 for sales above 1,500 euros. So the higher tier things and higher tier stickers and whatever you got. Everyone's pretty upset by this, that it's going to 8%. And I'm not necessarily here to back SkinBid and back Zipel, but I'll give my 2 cents on it, I guess. They have a company, they got employees to feed, they also have a website to make. They aren't the size of Buff, and while that's the problem with a lot of people nowadays, people want Buff pricing, where it's as low of a fee, it's as easy to use, there's as many people on the website, and that's just not gonna be probably ever the case. Buff the past couple of years has blinded thousands of people, where the prices on there, I would say for the most part, are pretty unreasonable. Doesn't really make any sense, and most websites in North America and Europe can't really do that because there aren't enough people essentially using those websites. There isn't enough traffic going into them, as well as they're not making the same sales as they are on Buff. They're not as big as a platform. They have all of China when we have all of maybe just a few places because people use different marketplaces. The only website that's pretty low in fees still is CS Deals. And this is what I use sometimes for things, but just like a lot of other marketplaces and things to make money inside of CS, it's been pretty much milked to the absolute core. And my argument with CS Deals being 2% versus SkinBid versus 8 is if you look at the amount of items on a place like SkinBid versus CS Deals, it's pretty reasonable. There are just not a whole lot of things on a place like CS Deals. Not enough people know about it. It's a very sketchy website, I will say, with the UI, but it does work. And a place like SkinBid looks a little more professional, and more people use it, and there's more items on there. You can argue with it all day. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Or do you somewhat in the middle understand, kind of like I do? Like I said, I'm not trying to back Zipel and back SkinBid, but I completely understand where they're coming from. Other things for CSGO investing and the marketplace in general. PNX on Twitter, guy that I follow and that has been supporting the channel for a little while, he stated on Twitter Twitter, like I talked about the past couple of Mando Mondays, he was selling 300 Battle-Scarred Hollows for 90% buff price for $1,200. And he tweeted out this morning that they were officially sold, which is pretty crazy. This means people are moving Battle-Scarred Hollows, but let alone there's also 300 more on the market possibly in someone else's inventory, at least for this week. Other things are of course around knives. Knives are continuing to rise up in price since I made my videos the past couple of days. I think they're going to continue to rise until, well, there's some sort of market crash, and when that is, I'm not sure. Whenever people are getting bored or uninterested of the game, and that doesn't really seem to be anytime soon, considering there's nothing even going on in the game and people are still yet to be uninterested. And of course, lastly, the drama around FaZe Clan. I'm probably going to make its own video later this week on this in a commentary style. I know Master Shiny touched on it earlier today, but I want to give my 2 cents because, well, I lost a lot of money because of FaZe Clan back in the day when I was just a young, stupid teenager, or maybe even a tween at that point, on CSGO Wild, the website they owned that they came out a couple years ago and said they owned, and many people have covered it, like myself, TDM Jesus, Master Shiny, and most likely a handful of other YouTubers. FaZe Clan as a company went public recently, and they are falling a little bit in price in their stock. FaZe Rain, the main owner, or used to be the owner of it, is now complaining of it when he pretty much sold his soul to go public, and now he doesn't have any control over anything. And he's complaining he paid for the entire CS team, when in reality, CSGO Wild did when he was promoting it to young kids like me, who gave them most likely millions, tens of millions of dollars to fund that team. But really, I should be getting a 5% stake. I'm kidding. Master Shiny, like I said, has this in way more detail and in depth. I'm going to take a few more days to do my own research on it, give my 2 cents on it as well, because this kind of hits home for me. That's also why I don't really condone gambling nowadays. And of course, last thing to top off today's episode of CSGO News, the Dreams and Nightmares and Recoil case are now the most unboxed case in CSGO, which is pretty mind-boggling to me because all of 2022, the Clutch case was the #1 open case by a long shot. The new ones were starting to come up, such as the Dreams and Nightmares and Recoil, but I would say the biggest problem with these 2 cases is they haven't been dropping enough for them to really go down in price, and therefore people are just not wanting to buy them at that price. But that doesn't really seem to be the case right now. 3.7 million of the Recoil cases have been open, and they're 70 cents in the Steam market, which is extremely expensive still. This gives me high hopes for the next little while of CS. Valve's making some money. Hopefully it can cook us something good. Let me know what you guys think.
That wraps up today's episode of CSGO News, and I'm out. Peace.